Now in this video, I'm going to give you some information on CCNA certification exams, like some overview on what is the pricing and how the questions will be and what's the passing score. Like if we just get back in the previous section, we have seen some of the different tracks Cisco provides. And now in this video, we'll talk about how the examination will be. Now, CCNA certification exam will be a completely computer-based exam where you will be given some set of questions and you're going to answer them on the computer. And probably all your Cisco certifications will be run and maintained by Pearson VUE. Pearson VUE is the authorized testing center to run all your Cisco exams. And you can always visit the vue.com website and you can search for any of the nearest center if you want to get into some more in details or to find your nearest possible center where you can register for any CCNA exams or any Cisco exams. Now to locate any one of the nearest center, probably you can just go to google.com and you can type some Pearson VUE, locate test center, probably that will help you to find out. Like here I found one of the URL here, WWE. This is the site where I have found the test center. Just you type your nearest city, whatever it is, and type the center. And if I just click on Hyderabad here, probably you'll find all the nearest possible centers I have near to Hyderabad city. Like these are the different centers I have, nearest possible centers in Hyderabad, the first two, the directions, and you can see the direction as well. It's really easy way to find your nearest possible center in your city by going to Pearson VUE website. And the cost for the examination right now, the current pricing while I'm recording this video is $295. It can change, it depends. Like you can always visit the Cisco website to know the exact pricing. Now the duration for this examination will be 90 minutes to 120 minutes depending upon the regions or the countries you're taking the exam. Like for most of the non-English speaking countries, it will be 120 minutes. So I go with an average of 90 minutes or the duration of the exam. And the number of questions, it depends, depends upon some kind of software you use for testing the exams. But on the average, it will be from 45 to 55 questions. On the average, you get the number of questions which will be tested. On the average, I can say around 50 to 55, I can say. Now, the question types will be single choice or multiple choice, single choice, testlet, drag and drop, simulated labs, and simulates. Now, to have some more idea on how the examinations will be done, you can go to google.com and search for CCNA exam demo. If you search, you'll find one flash file. If you go to that URL path, now here you'll find the different types of questions that will be tested in the exams. Like here, you can see here the first kind of exams you have. You can say back or try me once. Now here you can see this is what we call a single choice, multiple choice, single answer one. Now in this you will be given a question and you will be given some 4 options or more than that. You have to select the right option, any one answer. So probably it will be any one's answer will be correct. Now to see the next question, you can say continue. Just click next. Let me check this one. Now the next kind of question, you have multiple choice, multiple answer, where you will be given a question, and based on that question you may have 2 or 3 correct options or correct answers. And the good thing is, in the brackets it will be mentioned clearly how many correct answers. So we don't need to really worry about or think that maybe 2, maybe 3. You have to select the correct option based on the given option here. And then we have something called drag and drop options. Now the drag and drop options are more similar to match the following, where you have some options given on the left side and you have to place them in the right box. Drag and drop. It's simple, drag and drop. The simulation will show you everything here. Now the next kind of question, you may have some fill in the blank, where you will be given some question and based on that question you have to type the correct numbers mostly. So this kind of answer requires you to type the answer in the text box which is given to you. Now the next thing, we have something called simulations. Now router simulation is something more, you will have some more points given to this kind of questions. And this is something like the labs which you are going to do in the exam. Like you'll be given one scenario here. If you just go back and try once again, let me just continue. You will have a question on the top here. You have to read the question completely. And then also you have a question on the left side. The scenario will be given and the question will be given. You have to go through with the complete scenario and the question. And then you have to get into the command line of the device by clicking on the device. So you can see the command line of the device, just like as if you do on the real devices. And you have to type the correct commands as per the question and as per the scenario. Now the valuation of the questions is completely based on the correct commands and the correct outputs you are getting. And it's not a real device which we use here, but it's a software. But you have to ensure that you are giving the right commands, and you have to configure everything as per the scenario and the labs. Now we call this kind of questions as router simulation. Now the next questions, we have something called testlet questions. Now this kind of questions will have a scenario based, like you will be given some scenario. You have to read the complete scenario here, and then you'll be given some set of 4 to 5 questions on the right side, and you have to click on them and read the question and choose the correct answers. Now these correct answers you have to figure out based on the scenario what is given above. You have to select the correct answers. Now we call this kind of questions as testlet questions. And then the next we have something called simulate questions. Now simulate are more similar to your it's a combination of testlet and simulation. Now the major difference is, now in this scenario you will be given a scenario here. Now we have to read that scenario completely, and based on that scenario you will be given some questions. Now again, to find the correct answer you have to go to the command line to figure out the correct answer, which means you have to use some specific commands to verify what is the correct answer. Like the question may be asking you what is the IP address. Now to know the IP address you have to go to the command line to verify that. So you're not going to make any changes here, but the thing is you are verifying the configurations here. But whereas in case of simulations we have to configure the commands. That's a difference. Now these are the different types of questions you will find here. We have seen some multiple choice or testlet, drag and drop, simulates, and this kind of things. Now the overall scoring will be based on 1000 points, and you have to score at least 82.5% in order to clear your CCNA exam. And you will get an immediate result once you are done with the exam. And there's one thing you need to keep in mind, there is no previous option here. Now no previous option means here you cannot go to previous option here. You can only click next. You cannot skip any questions, and you cannot say that I'll come back to this question after I do all the questions. You have to go in the exact order given to you. You cannot skip the questions in between, and you cannot leave the questions. If you click next, it will ask you, do you really want to proceed to the next? And if you once you say yes, it is not going to take back to the same question again. So that's one thing slightly different. If you have already done with the Microsoft exams, it's something different than Microsoft. Like in Microsoft exams, you have a previous option enabled. You can always go back and uncheck or make some changes to the configurations or some answers, but here it's not possible. Now if the contents always it gets updated depending upon the new versions. Right now the current version for the CCNA is 200.120, and it can change. For more in detail contents, you can always visit the Cisco website to get an updated information on this.